Happy Thursday and welcome to On the Move with Nan. Cam is gone. You may have noticed. It is just me. Cam has a conference this week, so we will miss her. And then also, just to give you a heads up, I'll remind you at the end of the episode, we are actually not going to have an On the Move with Nan and Cam 4th of July week. We're taking a little break, little Nan and Cam holiday, and then we will be back the week following that. But today, it's On the Move with Nan and Timmy, and I'm joined by Timmy Siverd. And he is a half marathon training team coach on our Sports Backers half marathon training team. Also, he's just generally so involved with Sports Backers, you wouldn't believe it. You're a President's Council, very active President's Council member, and all around big volunteer for us, big champion for us, always is involved in everything we're doing. So welcome. It's great to have you.
Thanks so much. Happy to be here.
No, this is awesome. So half marathon training team starts in August.
Yeah,
which
right around the corner.
Seem like, why are we doing this podcast? That's August. We're doing this podcast because
we're popular.
Yeah, it is in danger of straight up selling out before you get the chance to register for the Sports Backers Half Marathon training team. Yeah, it's a great problem. So kind of tell us a little bit about how you got involved with running and what your active living journeys look like.
Absolutely. So it's running a half marathon was a long-term goal of mine, but I was living in Ohio when I found the goal, and it was either too hot or too snowy, and so I was never able to complete the goal. So I moved here in October 2022, and then did the Monument Avenue 10K. So that kind of bit the bug a little bit, and then I said, you know what, I'm new to Richmond. I haven't gotten that involved in things yet, so it's kind of now or never. So I'm going to do the half marathon training team, and if I can't do it now, right after I move to a new place, then it's not meant to be. So join the half marathon training team, and the rest is history.
That's a great, I do think it's really fun. Like you said, great motivation to do it right after you've moved somewhere new, because you're meeting people and then you're seeing a ton of your new city.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, well, I guess you have the routes, but.
How many years did you do it before you became a coach?
Just 2.
Wow, that's even more impressive.
Cheryl plucked me up after just 2 years.
We love Cheryl. Shout out Cheryl. And when did you first, so you said you did it right when you moved here, and then how many years have you coached, and what team do you coach?
So I've only coached 1 year, so 2 years of participants through my second year as a coach, and I coach the Gray Wolves, which is the novice team on Sundays, 2.5 hours.
Sick animal. Yeah. Sick name. Yeah.
Formerly the Greyhounds, and then we morphed into
Gray Wolves
a few years ago. Yeah.
I was a dragon formerly, way in another life.
Saturdays.
Yeah, we're Saturdays. I know.
I do think Sundays are the secret.
People say that. The Sunday teams get rowdy too, I will say. Yes. Yeah, they're pumped up. I feel like your percentage of people that stay and linger after is higher on Sundays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's great for me as a yapper.
That's what, same. I would love that. Maybe I should give it a try.
You should.
So what is the reason that you think HMTT is so special?
I think there's a lot of things that make HMTT special. I think a big part of it's longevity. So Sports Backers have been doing it for a long time. And so it's a really well-oiled machine with the routes and the water stops and all of that. And then so many people, so many of the coaches, I'm like the baby of the group, having only been involved in HMTT for 3 years. There's people that have done it for 15, 20 years, almost the entire time.
It's crazy.
So you really, there's new energy like me, and then there's sort of long-term legends of the Richmond running community. And I think there's a place for everybody there. And I think what is just special is just everybody's there to see people meet their goals and to cross the finish line on race day. So I think just the energy is great. And we've just got all the logistics figured out. So
yeah. What if somebody has never done it before, what could they expect on a typical training day?
So on a typical training day, hopefully you get there a little bit early to do your warm-ups. I am famously not great at that.
Me neither.
Not great. I'm usually sliding
I was rolling in as you came to do this podcast this morning. So that is typically my style. But it does help if you give yourself some time. It's not fun to be stressed out.
Get there a little early. So there'll be some milling around yapping. Then there will be sort of a team pep talk. Usually there's like a theme of the week, whether it's finding your motivation, finding your mantra, or something a little bit more how to stay healthy, how to stay safe during running. Lots of at the beginning about how to get the right gear and how to get the right nutrition and all of that. So there will be sort of a topic and a pep talk at the beginning, and then we take off. I think the coaches do a good job of spacing out throughout the team. So hopefully you're never far from a coach. We're also stationed at the big turns and the water stops and things like that. So always trying to have eyes on everybody, just trying to keep the vibes really strong, and then also make sure everybody's being safe during their run.
Yeah, I know you said that you'd never done a half when you did it. So you have a unique perspective because you haven't tried to train for a half. really any other way.
I have not. Yeah.
But what was surprising to you about like that process as a participant?
I think the thing that was most surprising for me was how valuable the logistics were. So if you're doing HMTT, you don't have to think about the route. You don't have
Yeah,
to think about the time. You don't have to think about where you're meeting. You don't think about how you're getting your water during the race, because all of that's provided for you. And I think that just from when I tried and didn't complete trainings, that was just that removes so many of the challenges of it. So
totally.
we just do a lot of the hard work where you really just have to show up and run. And
Yeah.
I thought I would find friends and meet community and all of that, and it exceeded my wildest expectations. But I think just how much taking the logistics off of your plate, I think just makes it so much easier to just show up and
Yeah.
run.
And I say like particularly first time, but I don't know. I also was an HMTTer that like in my daily life, I'm running like 3 to 4 miles max when I'm not
Yeah.
training for something. And then, so I'm not running like those 8 miles, those nine
Yeah.
mile runs by myself all the time. So even knowing that they had it planned out, there are still those nerves of you're like,
Yeah.
I got an 8 mile run tomorrow morning. Like
Yeah.
I got a 9 mile run tomorrow morning. And I have done it where I've trained by myself before too. And like that is just like 15 times worse because you
Yeah.
don't think about like how small your neighborhood loops are. And I would be like, oh, well, I want to have water. So I'm going to
Yeah.
make a route where I stop by my own house a bunch of times. And it was like, sick. I'm running
Nightmare.
one loop 3 times. That just sounds like awful. No, you're good. Yeah, that just sounds terrible. Like I don't want to do that. So it does really, I love that portion of it too.
Yeah, distance becomes really, you have a strange relationship with distance.
Yes.
3 miles doesn't sound like that much, but then doing it sometimes, even if you've been doing things and doing 3 mile loops, absolutely not.
Yeah. Also, I will say, like, my husband and I talk about all the time, like how getting out of your neighborhood, even just for walking, like we are big walkers. And like he went on a walk this week and texted me. I was at the gym and he was like, I'm going to Scott's Addition to walk because I'm so tired of looking at this neighborhood. And I was like, yeah. And that's nice about HMTT too. You're seeing different things, different places. It helps to be
You even
distracted.
go south of the river
Yeah.
on our
You
10
see
mile
those
run.
big houses.
You see those. You can see a lot of big houses in Windsor Farms.
Yeah, I loved that. Just a little better than Zillow stalking.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we've touched on it some, but why would you pitch it to people as a better way to train than training solo?
Yeah, I mean, all the things that we've talked about, I think you really can't underestimate the value of the logistics all being taken care of. And then I think just, the community and the support, even if you've run a bunch of half marathons, you're going to have a terrible run. Your 8 mile run might stink one week, and just having people that are rooting for you is, I think, incredibly valuable. But I do also want to say that we have plenty of people that show up, do their run and leave and don't sort of engage in the community.
Totally.
And that's all great too. I think whether you just want help with the logistics, whether you want to actually, be part of the community and become a sports backer stereotype like I have, I think there's room for everybody. But I really think the accountability and sort of the ease of the routes and the logistics just makes it a no-brainer.
Yeah. Also, when you were saying the community aspect, like I do feel like you obviously naturally, even if you're not talking to each other the whole time, I know there's people who are like, don't talk to me when they're running. Clearly, we don't fall into that.
No.
But I have to have someone talking to me or else I'm bored. You meet people who then also maybe like, oh, I run with blah, blah, blah running group on Wednesdays. They do sort of the mileage of this. Like, so it's a great way to find people for those midweek runs too, when you might be by yourself.
And then we'll do like partway through the training, we'll do hill repeats, which are super valuable. And who's running hills by themselves? Like nobody. It couldn't be
no
me.
one. Do you have a favorite run of the season when people like, whether that's route, distance, like time of like, I know that I always liked that first, like when it starts getting the first like crispy fall run. That's not
that's a
too
really good
cool.
One. Yeah. I think my favorite one is, I think we've done it the past 2 years. We go down sort of across the flood wall and then down a little bit on the south side. And I think we come over the nickel. Of course, I'm putting runs together. I think that's our 10-mile run. And I think we come across the nickel bridge. That one's really special. And then the 12-mile run, which is sort of the practice run. It's most of the route. We do the big hill on Bryan Park. That's also a really special one where we encourage everybody. It's 2 weeks before the race. So to wear their outfit they're going to wear and sort of do all of that, like
little dress rehearsal.
So that one's always that's a lot of people's longest run. And then until the half marathon. So that's a really special one too.
Yeah. We didn't even touch on, and I should have, your first race after you did HMTT. How did that go?
It was great. It was, my goal was to be under 2.5 and I was 2:26 exactly.
That's amazing.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it was everything that I had hoped it was. And then I've had some terrible races since then. And that's the thing.
As you do.
about running. Sometimes it's just not your day, but I had the perfect sort of end of exclamation point on my
Yeah.
first HMTT
How many
experience.
half marathons do you think you've done at this point?
Because I'm a social media fiend, I know exactly how many I've done, which is 15.
That's impressive. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
and 2 full marathons.
Okay.
So some people
That's
that do
also
their
very
first
impressive.
one will really drink the Kool-Aid and go all the way.
Yeah. I think I did one half marathon before I did a full marathon. And I've only done one full marathon because after that I thought half's where it's at, people.
The half is where it's at. I don't know that I'm happy to the second full. That one was really hard. It was 1,000 degrees and Virginia Beach was very boring.
Ooh, yeah, that is rough.
Yeah.
What is the race day? So like I know that the training doesn't just extend, like that help doesn't just end your last day of training. What does that look like on race day for the participant and for you as a coach? Because you're running even more miles. You're probably doing a full.
Yeah, race day is so fun. So there's for third time is the charm. I made it to the group photo last year. So
love that.
We always have a big group HMTT photo. Every participant gets a singlet. So hopefully people wear that. So it's an HMTT branded singlet, so we can really see everybody out in the course. And then the coaches are stationed all throughout the course. So my team, the Grey Wolves, are usually on the Brook Road portion, which is a little bit like the long, boring portion of it. And so you should always be sort of inside of a coach on race day. So even if it's a coach from a different team, a coach you've never met, we're cheering for HMTT, we're cheering for the runners. If people need a little pep talk or need help getting a medic or anything like that, we're there to be extra eyes. So obviously we're there for all of the participants, but if you've got that HMTT branded singlet on, you're getting a little extra attention, a little extra support, a little extra love. I ran back and forth on Brook Road. I did a half marathon basically on Brook Road last year. So
that's the type of run somebody might be doing if they didn't have HMTT with them, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
I also feel like I love that's something when you were saying for all the participants, but they're giving obviously special attention. They know if you're on HMTT, a lot of them will even know you by name as they're seeing you out there. You'll hear them cheering. But for all participants, that is something that consistently I'm always surprised seeing in our like post race surveys and wrap ups are people being like, I'm from out of town and somebody in a neon singlet like helped run me in or like stopped and gave me their water bottle because I looked like I was struggling. And that's a really unique thing that you don't get at other races. And it's all thanks to this like great volunteer coach community.
Yeah, the coaches just really are a special breed. We're giving up 14 Saturdays.
It's a ton.
And you're not doing your own run because you're doing the training runs. One of my favorite stories about sort of just the culture of coaches 2 years ago. So the second year I was a participant, there was a water stop disaster. Volunteers didn't show up for a water stop. And a group of coaches just took it over and ran the water stop the entire time. And I just think that's just kind of people that coaches are, right? That wasn't how they expected to spend their race day. It wasn't what they had planned for the past 14 weeks, but it just needed to be done. And so they did it.
Yeah, that's literally could be like the motto. It needed to be done.
Yeah.
So they did
Absolutely.
it. And that's just like very special. And I think, we talk about that with sports backers, volunteers in general, but those coaches are a certain breed. It's awesome. What would you say to somebody who's like on the fence? This podcast hasn't yet convinced them.
Well, I don't know how it hasn't convinced
I don't
them
either
personally, but they weren't. I think I remember back to where I was new to Richmond and I was very on the fence for long, and then I don't finally just was like it's now or never, and I registered. I think the worst thing that's going to happen is you spend a little extra money and it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. But I think if you're already thinking about it, if you've been thinking about it for a while, I think it's worth trying. I think we'll get you across the finish line, but I think it's really like a no risk thing. And Sports Backers is a great nonprofit organization, so even if you sign up for a training team and don't make it to a run, you have donated money to one of the best nonprofits in the city of Richmond, in the Richmond region. So I think that it's worth a shot, and take a chance on yourself, and you might find that you're going to run 15 half marathons and 2 marathons in your first 2.5 years of running. So why not?
And if you are starting it and it doesn't feel great and you're not bought in, I think you will quickly even realize when it doesn't feel great, you're pretty brought in. But there's always 8K, Sports Backers 8K training team as well. And there'll be a window of time where you can drop down to that if you want. So we definitely encourage you to sign up because I think we are like almost over 70% full.
I think I saw 80%.
80, you're right. It was 80. Yes, 80% full in the half. And that's wild.
Yeah. And one thing I'll add too is we have an incredible coaching team that does a walking team. So it's a 4-hour time limit on the course, which is about a 16-minute mile. So if somebody isn't quite able to physically keep up with the running, if there's an injury or something, you can always switch over to that walking team and they'll help you walking is a whole different challenge.
Yeah.
Walking a half marathon, so there's support for that as well.
Also, I mean, and this is like you said, just you'll find people your pace. You're obviously entering your pace. That's how you get picked for what group that you're in. But there's also tons of run walk people out there as well. So like, and honestly, that was something where like I am a slower runner, and I would be running, and these like ladies would just keep like they'd keep catching me and then walking, catching me and then walking. And I was like, maybe I need to go with them. That looks more fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, so there's something for everybody. But yeah, we are over 80% full. Glad Timmy caught me on those stats. Over 80. I shared it on my story last night, but Cam I got it
not
wrong.
Here, but I am. Not. I follow her religiously on social media.
If she was here, she'd be screaming at me. Yeah. But over 80%
she's screaming full, at you watching this.
She probably will be. Yeah.
Report back, Cam.
She was at a conference locally where they were going to do some crazy things like maybe whitewater raft. So I'm excited for her to come back and see what she got into.
Yeah.
But yeah, sign up, because once the half marathon is full, that obviously includes HMTT, because it includes your entry. Not only are you getting your weeks of training, your supported runs, all planned out for you, all of that, you're also getting your entry into the race. So that's a really great perk. It's all bundled in there. Honestly, for what you're getting, very reasonable cost-wise.
An exceptional value.
Yeah, especially when you like, if you do the math and you take the race out, it is not that much more to add training in. So go ahead and make sure that your race day is as best as it can be. Register now, and we would love to have you out with one of our groups.
Absolutely.
Maybe the Grey Wolves.
Hopefully the Grey Wolves.
Yeah.
And then out Browns Island in November, once we cross that finish line in November.
I know. It's going to be great. Well, now might be the hardest part of your interview. We're having your 3 this or that question.
Okay.
Get ready. Okay.
Right.
So I have had the pleasure of running into Timmy a couple times at Orange Theory. So if yesterday was a benchmark on the treadmills.
I did it.
You did it? Okay. I did it as well. I didn't break my record.
I did.
Whoa. Humble brag.
No big deal.
Humble brag.
Just walked right through that door you opened for me. 1.64 miles.
Oh, yeah. Woo! That was fast. It was the 12-minute benchmark. So you see how fast you can run, or how far you can run in 12 minutes. I was a solid 1.21.
Love that for you.
Yeah. Jacqueline downstairs also goes to Orange Theory, our new sponsorship person, and she and I were next to each other. We frequently roll up to the 425 at Glenside. So if you're picking a benchmark, do you prefer do you prefer Catch Me If You Can or Orange Everest?
Catch Me If You Can.
Okay.
Not doing those inclines.
Yeah, the inclines are rough.
No thanks.
Okay. Well, Lauren also downstairs was saying that she thinks Orange Everest sent her into labor the last time when she had her daughter. So we were talking about that yesterday, talking about benchmarks. So be careful if you do that.
Can't speak to that, but it is that hard. I believe it.
Yeah. Catch Me If You Can is like you have to get to a certain mark before a certain time or else you're out of the competition. So it's really gamifying it. All right. Are you typically cold or hot coffee person? Today you asked for a cold. I didn't know, were you cold all the time?
Cold always.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So is Cam. She loves cold. I'm seasonal. At my own house, I'm way more hot, but seasonal out for sure.
You're allowed to have a flaw.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. This might be hard. This is a mean one.
Okay.
President's Council or HMTT coach crew?
Okay.
Picking between your family.
What is it? Andy Cohen, Watch What Happened Live.
Yes.
You're supposed to plead the fifth.
You can plead the fifth.
I will not, because I am brave. Well, I love both, and they both, there's nothing like your first kid, right? Your first love, first your love. And so HMTT was not just my first sort of love with sports backers, but really one of the first things that made me go from feeling like I worked in Richmond to like really lived in Richmond. So HMTT will always have the most special place in my heart, and it's given me some of my closest friends and proudest accomplishments. So with all due respect,
you're helping other people, you're paying it forward.
Absolutely. That really is the best part now.
Yeah. Quick plug for our President's Council. How can people, if they don't know what President's Council is?
President's Council is Sports Backers Young Professionals Council. Air quotes.
I've been told I can come, so that does mean young in air quotes.
We do not have a strict limit on strict age requirement. So we meet monthly, the second Tuesday of every month. We kind of alternate between socials and more content-driven meetings. And the point is just to bring together folks that are engaged in active living, want to support sports backers mission, and want to support active living throughout the region. So we just did our most recent meeting was with a nonprofit that it brings golf to the youth, which is really cool.
Was it First Tee?
It was first tee.
Nice,
Yeah,
love
it's really
them.
cool. None of us took them up on their offer to play golf that day. So I don't know what that says about I'm not good at that. But we've done some really cool things. I think our upcoming meeting is going to be a social with some of the other active living young professionals councils. So we just asked for folks to come to most of our meetings, participate in 3 sports backers events throughout the year, volunteer with one, make a gift during our big fundraise, a gift of any size during our big fundraising drive for Kids on the Move.
Yep.
Yes, Kids on the Move.
You got that one right.
Or Fitness Warriors. No, we do Fitness Warriors.
Okay, Fitness Warriors.
We pay for 2 Fitness Warriors classes a year.
They're raising money for a good cause.
A lot of good stuff going on here. So just email. It's on the website. Email Megan Capito. She'll get you connected. I'm actually one of the membership co-chairs.
Hey, perfect. I did this right.
Yeah, you did. And so we'll go get coffee and talk about Switchback or Princess Council. Make sure it's something that people want to do.
Nice. Thank you.
So come join us.
It was a great plug that you didn't even know I was going to make you give. So thanks.
I was always.
You got to stay ready.
You don't got to get ready if you stay ready.
That's true. Ready. Good advice. Yeah. And that advice applies to HMTT. Absolutely. So go ahead and register and get ready so you can stay ready. And Timmy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It was a delight, man.
Thanks. Well, you can go to richmondmarathon.org or sportsbackers.org to find out all the information about HMTT. Make sure to register because we do anticipate that half marathon is going to be filling up really soon. And don't forget that next week there will not be a new On the Move with Dan and Cam. Tune back in that.
So sad.
I know it is sad. Tune back in that first week in July, and
Dan's trying so hard to stay focused, and I'm trying to do right now.
Fine. The people are going to be sad. Nothing says holiday weekend like having a new episode of On the Move. But you know what?
Cam's missing how many weeks in a row is she missing? At least 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, she's gonna miss 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, I am not. I don't know if she's in the office next week. I am not. So that is more of the impetus of. And if she wasn't here for these 2 days to record, then. You know, that's it. You get one On the Move, and then we typically take a summer break. So this will be our summer break.
Allow it.
But thank you. I appreciate it. We can't wait to see you when we're back. Thanks for listening. Bye.